Hi guys, so today we are doing some more work with our big bouncy blue ball or fitness ball or Swiss ball. Remember, you are going to do what you can do. I can't see you, you know what your body can do. So listen to your body. Some of these moves are a little more advanced. Do what feels right, do what's safe. If it doesn't feel safe and it doesn't feel right, don't do it, okay? So we're gonna start with a little movement on the ball. So hands on our hips, and you're just gonna rock your pelvis side to side. So we're starting with a little pelvic mobility. So I'm kind of pretending I'm on a boat and the boat is swaying. My abs are in, notice my shoulders are pretty still. And 2, and 1. Then let's go forward and back, forward and back. So now that boat is rocking. So I went from swaying to a gentle forward and back, tilting and rocking, right? As I'm working, my abs are in. Again, my chest is fairly stable. And 2, and 1. And I'm going to take that into a circle. So I'm warming up around my midsection. As I circle, I'm not sure if you can hear it, my ball is going, "Rrr." It's doing that because I'm putting pressure into the ball. So I'm keeping my chest up, my hips press down as I circle and I switch. So I feel my sits bones changing their weight on the ball as I go. Good. And 3, my knees move, but I'm not like making them move. And 2, beautiful guys, nice and easy, just warming up. 1 more. Awesome. I'm going to adjust so that I'm facing straight down the barrel of my mat, right? Now you go as far as you're comfortable. My arms are forward, my abs are in. I'm going to go into a slight C curve, and I'm going to walk my feet forward, just to the point that I feel I can balance my weight a little bit. Then I'm going to walk back up. It's harder than it looks, so really use control. Again, if this doesn't feel safe, don't do it. My abs stay in. Notice I don't arch my back. As I start to work, I push into my feet using my legs. You want to work a little harder. As you lower, you keep the chest position, but reach the arms overhead. Good. 3 more. I'm only going to my shoulders right now, as if it was like a chest lift on the floor, right? 2 more. And I'm trying to move evenly. I'm not letting my hips sway as I push in, which means I'm using my hamstrings and glutes to come up. 1 more. Now I'm going to stay here. And in fact, I'm going to walk out a little bit till now I'm across the back of my shoulders pretty firmly and can lift my hips up. My hands go behind my head to support. I lower my head, neck, and shoulders back, keeping my glutes in the same position, and I lift. So little chest lifts here. And 6, notice I don't go far. 5, I'm keeping my pelvis stable. 4, 3, 2, 1. I find a flat line with my body and I walk even a step further forward. I'm still on my shoulders. I'm not weight bearing on my neck much. I dip my hips and I lift. So now notice my upper body doesn't move. And 6. And I'm trying to keep that ball pretty still. 5. So I'm still working my shoulder girdle. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Now I'm going to lower my hips down and come all the way down to the floor. I'm going to hold my ball to make sure I don't lose it. Okay, feet together, knees apart, give yourself a little butterfly stretch. And then release that. I'm going to spin around and face my ball. Fingertips are going in the ball, and I'm making little spatulas. Inhale, I'm going to roll that ball forward. Exhale, I roll it back. Then I'm going to roll it a little to the side. Inhale, I roll to the side. Exhale, I return. So it's your kneeling cat-cow. Inhale, I roll to the other side. Exhale, return. So I'm going to go through the middle, supporting up my arms on the ball, to the side, pulling up through the obliques and inner thighs, to the opposite side, working the body evenly, and then going back through the center. I'm trying not to dip my butt down. I'm not doing this right now, right? Couple more sets. I don't walk my hands because that would be cheating the shoulder work. I roll the ball. 1 more set. So I'm massaging my spine, working my legs and abs, working my shoulders. And I bring the ball back towards me. Now I'm going to put my thighs on the ball, not my pelvis. So as I come up onto the ball, I'm gonna glide it so that my pelvis is off, my thighs are on, which means my feet are elevated. If this feels unsafe, put your pelvis on and put your feet on the floor, okay? My shoulders are broad, my abs are in, and I'm really pushing up with my arms. My legs are strong, they're pointed. I'm going to rotate my fingers in a little to have a wider stance, but you can be triceps parallel if you want. Inhale, exhale. So it's my push-up. But as I do this, notice my feet come with me. So I'm working through my spinal extensors and my core. 4. Again, you can do this triceps if you want. 3, 2, 1. Now, you can externally rotate and hold here, or you can lower down halfway and hold for 6, 5, strong body. 4, 3, 2, and I'm gonna push back and walk back till my feet hit the floor. I'm gonna rest for a second because it feels good. I'm gonna stretch my wrists a little. Good. As I come up, I'm gonna take the ball with me, but I'm gonna bring it with me into a way that allows me to do footwork and then a deep abdominal exercise. So I'm gonna lay supine, which means on my back, heels on the ball, parallel and everything touching. And I want my heels towards the edge of the ball, okay? So I have room to extend. Shoulders broad, abs in, anchor that pelvis. Inhale, I'm gonna roll that ball forward. Exhale, return. So your base one is parallel, touching, flexion, extension. Again, notice I'm not walking this ball out and I'm not changing my spine. So my pelvis and shoulders are stable. Good. And if your heels lift off the ball, that's fine. You're going into an extension of the leg, but your pelvis should not lift off the mat. 2 more. Good, now I'm gonna add a variation. I press out, I externally rotate, I drag it back in like frog, and I return to parallel. 5. So now I'm working around the hip socket. 4. Abs are in, wrapping through the thighs. 3, and still that stable pelvis, pelvic floor activation. 2. 1 more. Good, switch the direction. Press out while turned out. Return to parallel, bring it in. And 5. So we're massaging around the hip. We're working that rotation through the pelvis, or I'm sorry, through the hip socket while keeping the pelvis still. 3, 2, and I'm trying to move evenly. I'm trying not to let that ball sway side to side. 1, I'm gonna keep my legs out there. Now I'm gonna point my toes and my legs pressed down. If you need to bend your knees and flex your feet so it's more like a bridge, please do so. I'm gonna push my hands down and lift my hips up and tap them down. 10 hip lifts. Shoulders out of the ears, abs in. Now I am pushing down with my feet, but I'm not slamming the ball into the ground. I'm thinking lengthen and lift. And 5. Good. If the ball is rolling, that means you're lifting one hip unevenly. 4. So I got to work to keep my right hip up. 3, 2, hold on top. Now, if this is enough for you, I love this. Otherwise, you're going to bend your knees to roll the ball in a little and press it back out. And 5. Good. I'm trying to keep my pelvis pretty still. 4, it's not lifting or lowering. 3, and my arms are supporting me. 2, 1 more. I stretch my legs out and I lower my hips down. I'm going to gently just rock my legs side to side. So yes, I'm stretching around my hips, but I'm also working my obliques a little bit. 2 more. Good. Then I'm going to roll that ball in and I'm going to grab it. So I'm going to bring it towards me and hold it in my hands. Now, as I hold it in my hands, I'm going to plant my feet shoulder distance apart. On my inhale, I'm just going to tap my elbows down to the mat, and on my exhale, I'm going to lift it up. So just a very gentle, controlled elbow tap. And 6. Good. Body should be stable. 5. The work isn't in the weight. 4, but in the fact that it keeps the chest and arms in a static position across the chest. So the elbows bend and straighten, but I can't bring my arms closer to each other. And 1. I'm going to hold that ball up. I'm going to stretch it overhead, only as far as my shoulders stay down. Back of the neck is long. If your chin starts to lift, you've gone too far. So I'm anchoring in my pelvis, pulling up with my abs, and only going as far as my shoulders say is okay. 3 more. And this is work. Again, this lengthy weight versus heavy weight. 2. 1 more. Good. Now when I bring the ball back, I'm going to put it down on my center. I'm going to reach my arms up so the ball is resting towards my forearms or elbows. And I'm going to bring my knees to tabletop. So now everything's pressing against each other. This is work. If you need to imprint a little, do so, but ideally you're working to neutral. Left arm, stretch, then return, right arm. As you do this, don't let the ball move. There's a connection between the ball and your thighs, between the ball and your stable arm. Good, is this enough for you? Cool, you keep this. Otherwise, hold those arms still. The legs, go into single leg extension. Shoulders out of ears, abs in. Good, 2 more sets. This one's intense, guys. 1 more set, and then it gets pretty epic. Good. Can you hold the ball still? Reach right arm and left leg, and bring it back. And take a walk, alternating. Keeping the ball stable, keeping it pressed between the stable thigh and stable arm. And 3, 2, good, you're almost there. 1 more set, work through those abs. Good, and gently bring it down. Oh my goodness, let your knees dip to one side. Bring them up and over, dip them to the other side. Good, we're gonna take the ball, put it down behind the legs. I'm gonna rest it really close. So it's tucked in against my bum and against my calves. My feet are flexed, my arms open wide to the side, and it's supine spine twist. So we're gonna actively rock that spine out using the obliques. So as I rotate to one side, I pull my abs in. I return balance through center. You don't want your feet walking on the ball. You're only going as far as you can actively support and not shift the body. 2 more sets, guys. Spine nice and long, no tension being held in the neck, just lengthy supported spine. 1 more set. And gently release. Come to a nice seated position. Last but not least, we have a little mermaid. So I'm going to put my left fingertips on the ball. My left leg is externally rotated, crossed in front. My right leg is internally rotated, crossed behind. On my inhale, I roll the ball away, stretch my upper arm over. On my exhale, I sit up tall. So this has a ton of shoulder and it has a ton of hip. It's working through the obliques and going through side flexion. If this is too much, just stretch on the mat, right? And 3, I glide the ball out, but notice I don't pull my shoulder up to my ear. 2, so I'm still stable through my shoulder. If you need your palm to face forward or the sky, that's fine. 1 more. I'm gonna rotate to that ball and bring it slightly forward, so it's kind of on the same line as my knee. And I'm just gonna stretch forward and roll up. Similar to when we were rolling the ball before, but now I'm getting more of a stretch through the hip and back on a single side. And 3, 2 more. 1 more, pulling up through the abs as I come up, and I'm gonna switch. So I'm gonna move the ball to the other side, and I'm just gonna switch the position of my legs. So now I've externally rotated my right leg and internally rotated my left. My right fingers are resting on the ball. And again, it's not up the arm because I need to roll that way. On my inhale, I roll towards the ball, stretch over, exhale, come up. I only go the distance I'm supported. So if it's not comfortable, don't do it, right? Abs up and in. Lifting through the abdominals, stretching through that left side body and hip. Good, 2 more. Good, guys, abs up and in. 1 more. Good, I rotate towards the ball and I bring it more or less in line with that front knee. I inhale to roll it forward and I exhale to roll it up. So I get a really big stretch through the hip and then stretch up through the back. And 3, abs up and in. 2 more. one more, guys. And gently release. And there we go. So that's a few more slightly advanced exercises to really work your balance and your core. That holding the ball between the arms and the thighs is epic. You definitely should be doing that one. I hope you are having a good day, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat again soon.